Ladies and gentlemen, Martini Girl, but before we get to her, I have a question and answer which I usually do in the shed with the aid of the great Karnak. But I can't get into my shed, get my garage fixed, and I have stuff in the way, just I can't do it. But the question that I always get all the time is, does heat affect model kits? And the answer is yes and no. And I have one in the house I thought would be a good prime example, and that's the old Monogram F106 Dart. This kit came out in 83, so it's almost a 40-year-old model. And I've always say model kits have a shelf life, and when I say that, it's basically the kit's pretty decent. It's the decals that are usually gone. And I noticed when everyone asked me about heat affecting a model kit, you know, they're worried about warpage and everything. I think a lot of it is they need to find a place to store all their kits. If you have a lot of kits, like myself, it eats you out of house and home, and that's just kind of I always say a price you have to pay for having a lot of kits is putting them in the shed, the garage, attic. Warpage, it really don't. There might be some that might be a little warped, but other than that, I mean, there's brand new kits. Like for example, we're going to start the Tiki trike, or excuse me, the mailbox trike here. This is pretty much brand new, about a year old or less, and it could be warped, just coming out of the mold process. But anyway, that's very, very minimal. But anyway, I want to show this. It's the decals. Most everyone that buys a kit, I think that as you can see, about a 40-year-old model, pretty much untouched. The instructions getting a little brutal. Where is it? There you are. There you are. Now the decal sheet's pretty good, but I wouldn't trust it because it's about 40 years old. I assume it's degraded, if you will. So you could really scan it and clean it up that way, and print you out some new ones if you got water slide decal paper, which don't. There's some things inkjet printer can't print, but anyway, I recommend getting new decals for any old kit that you get. And the thing is, even if you have to store them that way, even if you buy them that way, they are, you don't know where the kit's been sitting for the last 30 years. I've bought kits at an estate sale that I had to go up in their attic and dig them down, and they've probably been up there 20, 30 years. But anyway, that's just some, again, a price you have to pay for having a lot of kits is basically the decals are gone. Now some kits you can't really build at all because the plastic's broke, because it's 40, 50, 60-year-old model. I wouldn't. It's kind of more of a, I want to say an antiquity. But anyway, that's a question and answer. We'll probably have to delve into that a little more in the shed, which I've done before, and I need to do one on. I do like monogram kits. Grew up with them. And I may have to do a shed update on Monogram. But anyway, I hope that is clear as mud. So, Martini Girl. I went back in and on her stockings, I went ahead and airbrushed a very light coat. I went kind of a different route than, like skin tight. Anyway, it didn't look right when I did trying to, get it more flesh looking. So I went with more of a smoky gray, if that makes sense. And you pretty much will have to see her in person. It's just the way her legs are, the way the light hits it and everything. But I did go back in. She's got her eyeballs, or not her, painted eyeballs. And then we're going to go back in with Archer. But again, you can paint if you want. They make eyeballs. I'm going to put some eyeballs on, just makes it easier. No shame in that. So Archer eyeballs will be pretty soon, but I did get her color of her eyes in. Eyebrows, got her lips, got to do a little more I want to say highlights, get her just just a little bit, because she is animated, but you can't really, go too far in there. I lightened up her hair again, depending on the light, how it hits it. More of seeing it in person. I put a wash around her eyes, get her, keep the animated, keep a little more realistic, and then I got to go in and touch up a few little areas with some black. One thing I got to fix, and it might be able to see her neck, if I can find a good spot here somewhere in here. There's a seam, so she's going to get a choker. And what I'm going to do on the choker is I'm going to take a piece of black drafting tape, and we're going to basically just put a little strip of tape on there, and it looks like she's got a choker necklace on to hide the seam. Anyway, I think she's turned out pretty darn slick, so we'll probably do a little more this week, hopefully, because my eyes are still burning from the time change. But anyway, I did get a little more done on her, so hopefully we can get a little more done on her, and then we can start the trike here, which I about narrowed it down to either a Toxo trike or do a mystery machine bike, which I haven't quite decided yet. But anyway, we'll figure what to do very, very soon. But anyway, that's what I got going on today. I hope question and answers, because I didn't have the great Karnak hat on, so can't get my point across. But anyway, I hope that helped out, and we are continuing painting Martini Girl. So that's what I got going on today, so stay tuned for next exciting episode.